So, in this video, we're pretty much showing you guys how to generate random samples or pretty much generate random integers using the calculators, which pretty much is a random integer generator. Okay. So pretty much all these guys I'm showing right now is going to be those for random calculators that I pretty much am allowing students to use in my class, which is pretty much the TI-84, the TI Inspire, and the Casio FX CG50, which is the newest Casio out there. So pretty much everything is pretty much set up with the same format. And like we see in pretty much the last step of each one, pretty much the goal is to get a format that looks as random int, okay, or random int number, okay, that has a lower limit, upper limit, and n number of selections. Okay, so let's just say that I want to random select, and I want to randomly select 8 integers between 1 and, let's go with 50. So when we're looking at this, we have to say, okay, so what is the upper limit, what's the lower limit, and what's pretty much the number of selections when we're doing these problems? What's wrong with that? When doing these problems. So what we're definitely seeing here is the lowest number in the values we're randomly selected from. That's just pretty much the lower limit. The highest number we're selecting from the list of numbers or integers is the upper limit. And the number of selections is right here. And somehow I can spell randomly. Randomly select. This is your n, by number of selections. So pretty much from here, all we're really seeing is if we're going to try to get this to happen for in general format, we're looking for a random int, and we're putting 1, 50, and 8, and we're going to see what they get. We're going to see that within each technology, this part and the ending part might be changing depending on which one we're looking at here, but pretty much the same thing. I know for the Casio, this guy right here, even though the formula, it kind of does pretty much ran int number, and it also depends on what kind of calculator you have. Usually I see that scientific, but it's pretty much doing the same idea. So as long as it's doing random int, that's all we care about. They want to random number because that's doing decimals, or here we're selecting individuals. So that's my population. We give members. I'm going to give each member a label. We give them an integer label. So we're doing the random int. So right there is the one that can count. Integers can count the number of members in the population that we're trying to get a sample from. Anyways, let's just first work on the TI-84s, and promise that the flow is coming over here. So the first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to press map that is on the calculator, and we'll see where that's at. Then we'll be highlighting probability as one of selections that is on the top column. And then we're going to, after that, we're going to be pretty much random. We're going to be selecting the random int function. Pressing enter, and then we're going to complete the formula that we have here, which we already wrote on the board, and then press enter and see what it gives out. That's what we're going to do at this time using the TI-84. So here it is. So the first thing you do is I'm going to hit math. Math is pretty much right here. This button right here. So I'm gonna hit math, and then on top of it we have math, then we have number, followed by complex, probability, and fractions. So pretty much we're looking at probability, and notice how when I have my option right here for random int. So that's what I'm gonna choose, is random int. So I'm gonna go down to random int, and I'm gonna choose it by either pressing 5 or going down to highlight it and enter. So notice over here we have lower, upper, and n. So this is where we're gonna plug in the value. So lower, once again, is supposed to be 1, upper is supposed to be 50, and n is supposed to be 8. So we're gonna put that in. So 1 is there, over here is 50, and then 8. And then all we do is come over here and paste. So that's what we're under. I know I said enter. So permanent over here is actually paste. So I will over here paste. Okay. So either one that is given. So when I press paste and enter, notice how it's setting up this format, and that's what we needed. We need that format, it's setting it up for us. So all we have to do here is now press enter. Okay. So pressing enter will give us a set of values. So we're definitely seeing that our set of values is pretty much, we have the result. So let me erase this real quick. We didn't really need that. So we pretty much have the result that's going to end up being a set that contains 1, 22, 16, 49, 2, 42, 31, and 11. So these will be the people or members we have labeled in our population, and we'll be replacing these labels with the members themselves. And that's what we'll be seeing when we're doing lab selection from a population. But one thing we're going to point out here is when I press enter again, notice how it does a reset up, but the result changes every single time. And that's because the random generator has its own seed, and what it's doing is for that seed selection, it is randomly setting a number from 1 to a very large number like 1,000 or 1 million. So that number is becoming very, very big, and it's always changing. So therefore, it will always change in here. Other location will teach you how to do a seed so that each and every person has the same result and will always show the same one every single time you press enter. But I'm not showing it here because that's something you could look into yourself. But right here I'm just showing the basic idea. So that's how you pretty much do it on a TI-84. One thing that we're going to keep going in mind is sometimes we're going to have situations in which you're going to have, depending on your calculator, you might not be doing it, the upper limit, lower limit thing inside here. So these guys here will be deleted. So you'll pretty much end up with something that looks like this, where you have only ran and the parentheses. So that's where we'll come over here, that's where you put in the rest of the work, and that's where we have to actually input the numbers and also use the comma, which is right here. We're using this comma and the parentheses, that's right here, when we're doing that. And pretty much we can end up with the same result from there. Once again, it depends on which type of scientific TI-84 you have. If it's TI-83, it's different, so you might have to be sure to turn it on. But come over here, doing this, what we're looking at here is going to be 1, comma, 50, comma, 8. So we're getting the same formula. And all we got to do is enter it, and it gives its own random set. One thing we have to keep in mind is if it didn't happen there, but happened above, and I'll show you right here. Notice how over here, when we look at this, we see 2 50s. When that happens, you're gonna have to get rid of one of them and replace it with another round selection. So just do another sample selection, and the first number that comes up, if it doesn't repeat from what's inside the previous selection, use it. But that's usually happens when you're doing random selections. Unless specified you could repeat, we don't want to repeat. We don't want to assume that we could repeat, because you're saying that you could make clones of members, and that's not possible unless you're doing cache release on Fish. But that's pretty much what's happening there. So let me just jump to the next one, and the next one we're going to do here is the Inspire. Let me see if it's good. So I'm going to turn it on. Okay, so for the Inspire, one thing you have to watch out for is over here we have different options. So when we're doing the Inspire, we have to make sure that we're under Calculate. So you can go to the up here and do Calculate here, or you can just go down to the bottom set selections and be on Calculator. And that's what I prefer to do. I just go to, and I always continue one over and over again, unless you want to do a current one. But that's what we could learn on your own, how to navigate. So I'm going to go pretty much enter, and oops, I didn't do it, but I'm going to come over here. You can either click here or click on enter, and you get it. So similar to this one, what's happening for over here for the Inspire, everything is pretty much it's like do an Excel setup or a computer document setup. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pretty much clicking on menu. Okay, it's under menu in the calculator. Then we're going to select probability, and then for our probability, we're going to do the option of random. And from random, we're going to do the integer option. And what we'll do once you do that, it will start the same formula setup that we had for the TI-84. But we won't have the upper limit, we're going to have this setup, and we're going to input the rest of the formula. Okay? So that's that's happening there. So let's go ahead and show how it's happening on the calculator so we can see it happen firsthand. So once again, turn back on, enter the calculator. So coming over here, what we're doing here is going to menu. So I'm at menu. So I have to keep moving the hand back and forth because of what's happening. So on the menu, and then from here, I'm going to go to probability. Press enter. Then I'm going to go to random. And then I'm going to go to integer. And notice how it does the same setup as what's happened before. I'm a little hard to see, but that's what's happening. So let me zoom in real quick, so you can see that's what's happening down here. So we're seeing the same thing. So now all we have to do in here is put in the rest of the information. So all we're doing is putting it set up, and so we're doing 1, 50, 8. And we're going to get the same result. So I'm going to put that in. So 1, 50, 8. And we'll close it with the parentheses. So everything is now there. So all we have to do now is press enter. And it generates a random sample selection. Hope you can see it. I'm now going to zoom in a little more so you can see the result. Oops, wrong one. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So we're doing the same idea as we do for TI-84. The only thing we're just doing it through menu for the Inspire is under menu. Therefore that would be the random selection we're doing. Good thing nothing repeat, so we're good. If any repeated, we'll just have to go ahead and do one more selection, or just simply change the top one to a 1, get one selection. It's really your choice how you want to do it, and you're done. So that's the Inspire. So let me zoom back out. And I'm going to put the Casio. So, for the conceal, what we're definitely seeing here is, let me just first clear so we could see what it looks like in a clear setup. We're here, all we do is we go to pretty much menu, and similar idea, like that's Inspire, we have to go to pretty much the calculator one, and the calculator one happens to be first often says run and matrix. That's pretty much the calculator. So I guess right here, run and matrix. Okay. Run matrix. So purpose mentioned, select that one, we're pressing EXE. So from here, the whole point is to get the prop, because other prop settings under the true probability, because its probability is the probability of random selecting an individual. But so how do we get the probability? Well, we have to press option, like I've already here. So first thing first, I'm gonna press option, and then from there, I'm gonna select the probability, but we're gonna have to press the arrow because it's not gonna show first time around. We have to press the arrow, and it's gonna slide the bar, the options, and we're gonna see probability after that. So after we choose probability, we're gonna go ahead and choose random, then from random, int, and then here. So it's the same process for all of them. The whole point is where's probability at and how to obtain the random. Everything's on the probability. So coming over here, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna hit options. Well, options is right here. This button right here. So just hit the option. And like I said, notice how there's nothing here. We have context, we have all these other things that we're going to be seeing later on. So we have this arrow. So all we're going to do is select the arrow by pressing and putting it right here. That's the one that corresponds to the arrow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press the button that corresponds to the arrow. And notice how probability now shows. It's right here. So therefore, I can hit that button that corresponds to that probability. Me doing that, it says, okay, what do you want to do probability? Factorial, principal, permutation combination. No, I want to do random. So therefore, I'm going to hit the button that corresponds to random. And then, like I said, I go for the one that corresponds to int, which is right there. Doing that, I start my random int. And as I told you before, that this one here does ran int instead of ran int. Well, this one does ran int number versus ran int, but it means the same thing. Just different technology has different syntax. So now we're gonna put the information in. So too much, delete 1, 50, 8. Enter, same form, same setup as I have for the other ones, and I'll go to press enter either EXE, and I have a random sample. Notice how not all is showing here, but you can see an arrow that's right there. When you see arrow, and how this brother wants to make a big list that may not show everything, just hit right, or in this case the arrow, and you can see the rest of it. So pretty much, let me see if I do the arrow thing. It's not showing everything, so I'm gonna just go to it, and I'm gonna do the arrow. So you highlight it. So and I did also number 2, you go up to it and highlight it, and then you could navigate it by hitting right and left. And you can see all the selections. Right there. Okay, this same thing might happen for the TI-84 and Inspire, depending on how big your sample set you have. That's why when it comes down to it, it might be better to make a list under a list. And so I just forgot it works for TI-84 because somehow I don't get that list to occur at the forms, but it's not sitting with the list. Memories, there we go. So it might actually be on the table, but I don't know in the future, or you could research on yourself. But that's pretty much how I do the basic random int, random generators for each of these type of calculators, whichever one you have. Okay? If you have any questions, just go and rewind, go back to it, and practice. Thank you.